Hey guys, Storm here with another top-down Unity RPG tutorial, and just an overview of the last couple of episodes. We have implemented a random dialogue system for these characters, so you can go along with that. Yep. We have, if I just pause and go back, we have mobs that will chase us, and we can kill them. We can come up and we can press E to visit the general shop. We're gonna have to reposition that. Press E, we can buy some sticks and add to our player's inventory. And we've also got, we can walk into houses, so that's that. And we also have our health bar down the bottom, and again the random talking. Okay, so there's a few things I'd like to do, and first thing is displaying the player's inventory. 2 seconds, I'm back. Alright, I'm back, sorry about that. So the inventory, we want to display the player's inventory and the items he has in it, and I've been doing a lot of looking around the place, and I think for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to make something like the Pokemon inventory. So this part may be optional. We'll definitely add that in if that's what you want, but essentially what we're going to have is we're going to have this description here. It's going to have a description of the item and also the item picture there. And then we're also going to have this, which will have all of our items, and they're going to have an X and then how many we have. Okay, so let's start doing that, shall we? So on our HUD, if we go to our player and we have a look through him, you see he has his HUD controller. So if we open that up, and this is our HUD controller. So we want to do up here, public bool is in inventory. And we set that to false, just, yeah. So if we copy this part, and on GUI we want if is in inventory, and then we're going to do inventory, right, capital I. So down here we're going to do a void inventory, and that'll be where we do everything. So on the onUpdate function, we want a if input.get key down key code dot e. Actually, we'll make that I because we're already using E. Then we want to do two things. First, we want to do actually no, we'll do one thing. We'll do is in inventory is equal to not is in inventory. So it's going to set it to the opposite of what it is, because that's what this means. And then we're going to have a check. So if is in inventory, we want time.timescale is equal to 0.0f, else time.timescale is equal to 1.0f, and that's just gonna give us a pause thing. So if we're walking and then we want to press I, just we press I, everything pauses, meaning we're in our inventory. Then we press I again, everything continues. I. So that's how that works. Yeah, that guy. Anyways, so that gives us our pausing and unpausing in time. And now we're gonna want to do a few things here. So, alright, now, yeah, we're gonna have to sort out colors first, so that's where our design part comes in. So if we go to our GUI, we have our main GUI skin. We're gonna see our box is currently set to this, which is perfectly fine if we wanted that. However, I think we should go with something a little bit more like this, I suppose. So if we're gonna create a new, and we're gonna make this 12 by 12. Actually, we'll get some more detail in, so we'll make it 24 by 24. Alright, so we can close that. Now we're going to start by getting this color here. I'm going to set our brush tool down to 1, and then we're going to draw 2 lines along the top. Opacity of full. That's on our pencil tool, sorry. Make your pencil down to 1, and then we're going to draw like that. Alright, so we're going to draw 2 layers along the top. Then we're going to maybe make it 3 layers. Make opacity on full. Sorry about that. So full, full, and full. Then we're going to get this color here, and we're going to come in here like so, and then we're going to get this color, and we're going to paste it. Get our fill tool and just fill it in like that. So that is that. We can also add in, if you really wanted, these little dots in the inventory. So actually I think I got the wrong color. We'll do that. Press G. Get these little dot colors, and then you can go along individually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's not necessary, but you can do that if you'd like. So for the purposes of the tutorial, I will do that. So Control C, Control V, then you move it down. Alright, so now we have those dots on our inventory, and all is well. So we can merge these layers together, and we're going to save this on our Unity 2D RPG episode, game, assets, resources, GUI, and we're going to call this info box. Yep. And then the next thing is we're going to want something like this. So we just want a border that's going to be green. So we're going to create a new 24 by 24. And now again, you can make this green, and I'm going to create, you can make it smaller. I'm going to create a new layer on top of the background. I'm going to remove the background layer. I'm going to get this green color here, and then I'm going to draw down like so. I'll be back when I've done this part. Okay, I'm back, and then just for design, I'm going to get this little color here, come in here, and I'm just going to draw it there, and the same on the other side. And we'll just color in that part, like so. Okay. So let's do one more. Alright, so we're going to save this, and we're going to save this as item box. Okay, so we're going to click on these two. Actually, we can leave them as is. We're going to come into our main GUI skin. Actually, set these two over here to be point, just so they appear a little bit better. Press apply. And now on our main GUI skin, we're going to minimize that and that. We're going to create 2 more, so we're going to change this 2 to 4, and we're going to call this info box, and then the other one, I should set it to 3 now, so we can just pretty much copy. Actually, no, it should be fine. So remember in last episode how we had to set these to 6 and 4s, so that's fine. Info box, and then item box, and on these two we want to open up the normal and change the background box to be our info, and then our item here. close that and that. So that's our that part done. Now for testing, I'm just going to draw 2 boxes. So do a GUI.box new rect from we'll start in 100 and then we'll go start 100 down as well, and we'll make it 500 in width and 700 in height. So sorry, 300 in width and 700 in height, and then we'll set GUI content to be nothing, and then we'll set it to be item box. Yep. And then we'll draw one more, and we'll draw it at 500, and we'll set it to be info box. So we're going to Unity, so there's no errors, press play, and then we're going to press I. That didn't really work. I'll definitely have to look at that. Yeah, so that's that. Go into Photoshop. I'm just going to make this one a bit bigger, so I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going with a complete redesign. For this one, just do whatever you want, just make sure it's got a green border. I'll come back to that probably in a later episode because it's gonna look pretty bad. And then finally, if we just go around on this and we go we're gonna make a, you'll see, I'll come back when I've done this part. Alright, so it's gonna look like this, so we're gonna do it like that, and then for this one just like that. Okay, so I decided we're gonna make this a full screen box, so yeah, let's do that. So in here we want to do our info box is going to be, for reference, if this is a 192 pixels high box, then we want to do that which is 51 pixels. So I'll back okay, so this here is going to be some pretty basic math that you would have learned before. So first we want to set it to be at the bottom of the screen that we're calculating from. So screen.height, I'm going to take, so we're going to do 2 brackets here, screen.height divided by 100, and we want it to be 25% of the screen, so now we times by 25. Okay, and then we want the width to be screen.width because we want it to be full size, and then we're going to just copy this part here and we're going to replace this number like that. So we press play. When we press I, we're going to see that we have 25% of the screen is going to be our info section. Brilliant. So for our next part, we wanted to start at, well, if we look at our inventory, it starts all the way on the right and then sets it here. As a basis, I'm going to get a background of this color just to be drawing upon everything. So 24 by 24. I'm just going to set this as background inventory BG. So come into Photoshop, go to our GUI, we're going to make it 5, and we're just going to call this inv BG, and we're going to set our normal to be inventory background. We're going to click that inventory background, and we're going to change bilinear to point. Save that, and just up here we're going to do GUI.box new rectangle at 0, 0, screen.width and screen.height, and then we're going to set it to be nothing and inv BG. So that's going to give us a background. It should be a full-size background. Press I, full-size background, press I again. Okay, so our next part is drawing this. So we're going to draw it at screen.width, take, and we want it to cover up I'm gonna say 50% of the screen. So make it 2 brackets, so screen dot width divided by 100, and then times it by 50. And we're going to set the height to be screen dot height. We're going to set it at 0 because that's where we want it to start. We're going to set our width to be this value, and we want to set our height to be that, but instead of 50 we want to change it to 75. So we come into Unity, we press play, and then we press I, and it sort of worked. Yeah, I'm gonna fix this because I don't like it at all. So I'll be back once I've fixed that. Just to update you, I'm making a 12 by 12 for that, and I'll be back when I've done that. Alright, so I'm gonna set it to be completely green on the middle. So let's save that, press OK, and then we come to Unity, click play, we have a look, and yeah, so it's doing that. So let's take a look at our code and see why it is doing what it is doing. 2 seconds. So the reason why I was doing it was because we were dividing by an int and not a float, and the screen could be, it needs to be to a float. So if you just add an F after all these numbers where we calculate percentages of the screen, then we should be good. So if we go to Unity, press play, then we press I, you see we have a full-sized inventory. Okay, so we're gonna have to convert this part here to become a GUI scroll box, and it's gonna display all of our inventory. So in our this player, we should go to our player just to start off with, and you see it's gonna have an IP manager, which is our item player manager, which has our inventory. So we can check that out, of course. So item player manager, and it's got our inventory here with all of our items. Now I want to add in our inventory, you see item, sorry, I want to add in our, I believe, item class. Yeah, so in item we have a public string item name, and we also have a public int ID. What we also want to do is we want to have one more string. We're going to call it public string item description. Yeah. So now we have our description and our item name. So we can go to our managers, item manager, and we're also going to have to open up our item manager code. No, we're not. No, we're not. So we want to go to our item, actually, so our stick, item stick, I believe, one of these, stick, here, we have an item description. So we're just going to have this, a stick. What else is there to say? Okay. So we're going to have a stick, useful in crafting, which we haven't implemented yet, but we will implement it soon. So that is our stick. Anyways, you'll see that happen if we go to our player. One quick thing, I'm gonna go to our level manager, because this has really been peeving me off, our level, and when we want to instantiate a tile, I want to make this cleaned up a little bit. So we're going to call game object temp tile is equal to instantiate. I want to say as game object, and then we're just going to do temp tile dot transform dot parent is equal to transform, and it's just going to set as parent to the level manager, that thing. So we press play, and it you see here, sorry, not there, that didn't work. I'm back in a sec. Never mind that. figure out a way we'll do that after. Anyways, we click play. Click on our player, and you'll see his inventory currently has nothing. I'm gonna come over, press E. I'm gonna buy some sticks, and yeah, our stick will have an inventory. Okay, how long has this been going for? 20 minutes. Okay, I really don't want to watch this, so this will be part 1, and next part, which should come out tomorrow, hopefully, we'll start displaying, we'll finish this part off, so we'll display our items, their image, and their description. Okay, I've been Storm, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, goodbye.